It's hard to imagine two FBI agents ending up in the same room. How did that happen?
I sent them. Something I probably wouldn't have done or maybe gotten away with in a more organized investigation, a more organized administration, in the George W. Bush administration, for example, or the Obama administration. The protocol, two men that all of us have perhaps increased appreciation for over the last 2 years. And in both of those administrations, there was process. And so if the FBI wanted to send agents into the White House itself to interview a senior official, you would work through the White House counsel, and there'd be discussions and approvals and who would be there. And I thought, it's early enough, let's just send a couple guys over. And so we placed a call to Flynn, said, hey, we're sending a couple guys over. Hope you'll talk to them. He said, sure. Nobody else was there. They interviewed him in a conference room at the White House Situation Room, and he lied to them. And that's what he's now pled guilty to.
What did he think they were coming over there for?
I don't think he knew. No, we didn't tell him. Just said, sending over a couple of agents. I want to ask you some questions. I didn't have this conversation. My deputy director did, but hope you got a few minutes.
Okay, now, I couldn't find the audio. I wish I could, and the video. Welcome to the Carl Jackson Show, your daily dose of objective truth in a world of confusion and lies. Follow me on all things social media at the Carl Jackson Show, X, Instagram, and Facebook. You can get my t-shirts, Carl at carljacksonmerch.itemorder.com. Don't grow weary doing good. Love guns, hate tyranny. Skin ain't sin. But listen, General Michael Flynn has since come out and said, Comey, you're going to jail. Now, General Flynn didn't lie. Essentially, what they did is he basically here's how the FBI works. If you misremember, you're in trouble. They're going to say that's a lie. That's why I would encourage you never ever talk to law enforcement, whether it's federal law enforcement, whether it's state, local, without an attorney. Just, hey, listen, I'm not offering anything. Now, I revoke my right to remain silent is what I'm going to do. I'm going to call an attorney. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself in trouble. That's just the way that it works, whether you like it or not. You never know if cops are I don't want to say shady. Maybe that's not the right word, but overly zealous. But James Comey was just crooked, and I'll prove it to you in just a sec. So he set up General Mike Flynn, hat tip Washington Post. This is what we've just found out from a whistleblower. Listen to this. This is going to blow you away. Now, General Flynn has since appeared on a podcast, and he said, listen, James Comey, you're going to jail. And I think he may be right. Now, typically people don't go to jail, sadly, in Washington. I don't think Pam Bundy and Kash Patel will play because they've already launched an investigation. Here's the summary from the Washington Times. FBI leadership is starting an investigation into the origins of the agency's plan a decade ago to infiltrate the campaign of then candidate Donald Trump using two female undercover honeypot agents. All right. The off-the-books investigation. I'm pausing intentionally. The off-the-books investigation was launched in 2015 by FBI Director James Comey, then FBI Director, who you just saw, was revealed by an agency whistleblower in a protected disclosure to the House Judiciary Committee just last year. So in 2024. So this is all new information that has come out about James Comey. And now with Trump in, Dan Bongino in as deputy director of the FBI, Kash Patel in, Pam Bundy, he's got some splaining to do. James Comey does. This was first reported by the Washington Times apparently in October. So what is a honeypot? A honeypot is basically, and I'm sure you guys kind of know, but in the intelligence community, a honeypot commonly refers to an undercover operative, usually a woman who basically fakes, sexual interest or romantic interest in whomever their target may be. All right. So now the whistleblower said two female FBI undercover employees infiltrated Trump's campaign at high levels, and they were directed to act as honeypots while traveling with Trump and his campaign staff. Now, I have to go back to the words. This is off the books investigation. I'll get into that more deeply in just a sec. So now, again, you got Kash Patel, you got Dan Bongino in the FBI, and it's looking like the undercover employees. They're looking for the undercover employees that worked for James Comey to set up this honeypot scheme, if you will. So 2 female undercover agents. Now, you guys have to understand this. Don't conflate the two. The honeypot setup is while Trump was a candidate. This is not what I'm getting ready to talk about quickly, Crossfire Hurricane, which occurred while Trump was president in his first term. So honeypot scheme while Trump was a candidate in 2015, leading into his presidency, Crossfire Hurricane, which is the Russia collusion hoax, that was when he became president. Okay. All right. So now I set the table for you. All right. So now Crossfire Hurricane, according to the whistleblower disclosure, the investigation, again, different from the honeypot scheme. A later FBI counterintelligence operation was Crossfire Hurricane, and that looked into the Russia collusion hoax. The whistleblower said the early off-the-books criminal investigation targeted Trump and his staff. Trump launched his presidential campaign on June 16th of 2015, about a year before the FBI opened Crossfire Hurricane. So it's important that you know we're dealing with 2 separate schemes, all right? So just to reiterate. Now, here's what's damning. Excuse me. The whistleblower agent personally knew that Comey ordered an FBI investigation into Mr. Trump and that Comey, quote unquote, personally directed it. Again, Comey ordered an FBI investigation into Trump and that Mr. Comey personally directed it according to the disclosure. Now, the investigation did not appear to target a specific crime. That's very important. Remember, there was no crime. No one had committed any crime, but was more of what agents would describe as a fishing expedition to find anything incriminating against Trump. Do you think that James Comey acted upon this alone? I don't. The investigation was hidden from the DOJ IG. That is Michael Horowitz. You guys may remember him. He was investigating. He came out and he sat on the Hill and he offered information into the FBI and all this kind of stuff. But it was just lacking something. And he seemed like an honest enough guy, but he just didn't have all this information. We thought it would lead to something somewhere else. It didn't. But here's what the whistleblower we just learned last year. The whistleblower said the undercover operation was hidden or obscured from the Inspector General, Michael E. Horowitz. So in other words, James Comey, he not only launched an investigation off the books, meaning there was nothing was put on file about this case. It was not meant to ever be found out about. Here's a quote from the whistleblower. They even hid it from the Inspector General. The whistleblower, the case had no predicated foundation, so Comey personally directed the investigation without creating an official case file in Sentinel or any other FBI system. The FBI has multiple methods of protecting highly sensitive investigations, so Comey did not have a legitimate reason not to officially create an official investigation file or have a file number. He didn't want anybody to know what was going on. He didn't want anybody to know what was going on. One of the honeypots was found actually and almost photographed. The investigation was eventually closed because a major newspaper got a photograph of one of the undercovers and was about to publish it, but the FBI press office told the outlet that the photograph was an FBI informant who would be killed if the photograph was publicly released. So what happened to that honeypot? Well, the FBI whistleblower employee noted in the disclosure that one of the undercovers agreed to be transferred to the CIA, one of the honeypots, to the CIA. She would not be available as a potential witness since she was transferred to the CIA. Then the second honeypot. The other undercover employee was rewarded for her activities through a promotion in the bureau and is now a high-level FBI executive in a major field office. Now, there's been internal threats from the FBI. The whistleblower employee observed one or more employees in the FBI being directed to never discuss the operation with anyone ever again, including other people involved in the 2016 Trump campaign infiltration operation. The FBI employee making this disclosure took this admonition as a direct threat to the employees who received it. So there you had James Comey, an off-the-books investigation against Trump that nobody was supposed to find out about. He didn't put it in any type of documented intelligence apparatus, including the Sentinel, which they are supposed to do when anyone is under investigation, and they have all types of ways to hide it from the public. This guy's crooked, and he's going to jail. Hey guys, Carl Jackson here for MyPillow, and MyPillow is excited to announce that they're having the first ever mega sale on their overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, you can save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. The queen size is only $59.98 and the kings are only $69.98. But they sell out fast every year, so be sure to order now. You can also save 30% on their brand new Mike crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one that Mike has worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's styles, and they're made right here in the good U.S. of A. Get the 2025 6-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. The initial quantities are extremely low, so get them before they or while they last. And I can't forget to mention the My Pillow. It's just $14.98. So to take advantage of the first ever mega sale, go to mypillow.com, use promo code Carl, or give them a call at 800-858-0263. 800-858-0263 is the number to call in. But wait, remember that $75, the $75 free shipping rule. So, that ship is sailed because right now for a limited time, every order ships free. That's right. Every order ships free. MyPillow.com, promo code Carl, or give them a call at 800-858-0263.